My name is Blesson Akpoluma. I am the Managing Director of Sabright Limited, a civil engineering construction company situated in Port Harcourt. I am making a statement of record with regards to our NDDC, that is Niger Delta Development Commission project at NDU Amasoma. It is a hostel project, a prototype hostel project situated at NDU in Amasoma, Bayelsa State. It was a contract awarded for the construction of a two-story 500 hostel project. Our quotation for this project was in the year 2003, and it was for 580 million naira. But it was awarded across the board for 427 million naira in December 2004, with a statement at the tail end of the bill of quantities at the left side margin of the grand total, reading on a normal site. In other words, the sum of 427 million naira was awarded across the board on a normal site. And this suggested to us, in our opinion, that contract values for more difficult locations like the NDU in Bayelsa State will be revisited and reviewed. At the time that the contract was awarded and signed and mobilization payment made, the university authorities had not decided on where to site our project, because the NDDC instructed that the universities should allocate sites to their contractors. However, at this time, other contractors working at the university had a common dump site for materials by the new engineering complex that was being constructed at that time, from where they conveyed their materials to their respective sites. Sabright therefore decided to procure several tons of granite, reinforcement rods, and cement and dumped at the general dump site, while pursuing or putting pressure on the university authorities to provide us a site. It took 3 months before a decision was reached that we were to be allocated a site at their newly acquired permanent site. The site allocated to us was eventually some 2.5 kilometers away from the motorable highway. This location was a dense swamp rainforest and could only be accessed by the provision of an access road constructed by the application of earth-moving equipment and materials. Further to this, a construction area of a minimum of 21,000 square meters had to be bulldozed and landscaped, ready for setting out. The square meterage of the block itself is about 10,000 square meters. So we needed to clear well over 21,000 square meters, which should include action area and where we will dump our materials as well. The contract we had and still have up till date did not provide for any of these costs. However, we did not relent in putting pressure on the university authorities to provide us access and to clear the site for us, since Sabright's contract did not accommodate such wholesome bush clearing and tree felling works. Even after intimating them of this, NDDC informed us that all beneficiary universities had been advised to provide access or accessible sites to contractors who were to embark on the hostel projects. The university authorities remained indifferent, but each time referred us to our principals, who are the NDDC. We continued to remain or to explain our dilemma to NDDC. We did not fail to record the above situation properly and repeatedly in writing, both to the university and to NDDC. We recall that the Bayelsa coordinator of NDDC, in a memo to the state representative, that is his own state representative, the Bayelsa state representative, recorded that he had held meetings with the university authorities, and they, the university, insisted that the project must be located at the dense forest permanent site, and also declined to provide an access road for us. We therefore proposed the construction of an access road to both NDDC and the university. Both moves met no positive response. November-December 2005 dry season came and went. There was still no solution to our problem. And since we had procured materials mentioned earlier, including construction equipment and dumpers, we were left with no choice than to start our project. We had to bulldoze a 2.5 kilometer track road wide enough to take dumpers and our Land Rover. We then constructed a 2.5 kilometer long wooden bridge with thick wood, cubic, so that the tires of the weight and tires of the Land Rover and any vehicle that we place on top would be able to pass through. And this is a very dense forest. We had to cut through with hired equipment, bulldozers, to achieve this. Thereafter, we started moving the already procured 700 tons of granite, 120 tons of reinforcement rods, and other materials and equipment from the general dump site in the old campus to the edge of the Ogobri Amasoma Motorable Way, some 2.5 kilometers away from the site allocated to us. No sooner than we completed this exercise and started conveying our materials by dumpers to sites, a state government contractor, Mrs. Cornelis, we were told, started their own bush clearing works and bulldozed through a portion of our wooden bridge. This thwarted that effort, and that expedition was ended. Lucky for us, at that point, the state government had also just awarded a road contract from the Ogobri roundabout to a point where they were to construct a bridge across towards the Kirimon area. During these long months, we changed sites 3 times and had to demolish site offices already constructed each time to move to the new one. After this, we had to relocate our office twice, at the site office twice. First, when the university authorities changed their master plan and directed us accordingly, and then when we spoke to Setraco, a construction company who had a road construction contract nearby, some 500 meters away from our new project site. We notified NDDC about the possibility of reducing our costs if only Setraco would allow us to pass through their road under construction. They obliged. So we had to relocate our office, site office and site after due approval from the university again. We had a bulldozer to fell trees, cleared a 500-meter path to our site through the bush. The route was, as expected, very swampy and terribly difficult to access. We managed to prepare it with fallen trees, hardcore, sharp sand, and commenced transfer of our materials by hired tractors from the roadside by the Setraco edge of the road, some 450 to 500 meters to our sites. This now became our access route. As at now, no single provision had been made for any access road at all.